Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Manoj Singh Rana with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 and Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation 2.0, the mission to realize the aspiration to make all cities garbage-free and water-secure. Swachh Bharat and Amrit Mission brings transformative changes in the lives of people in the last 6 to 7 years, says Prime Minister. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur launches month-long Clean India program from Prayagraj. India says China's provocative behavior, the amassing of large number of troops and its unilateral attempts to alter status quo resulted in serious disturbance of peace and tranquility along the LAC in eastern Ladakh. Over 89 crore 2 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate is at 97.86%. Prime Minister to interact with Gram Panchayats and Pani Samitis on Jal Jeevan Mission tomorrow, to also launch Jal Jeevan Mission app and Rashtriya Jal Jeevan Kosh. GST collection for September crosses 1.17 lakh crores, 23% higher than in the same month last year. In Assam, the World Heritage Site Kaziranga National Park reopens for tourists. Smriti Mandhana becomes first Indian woman to score a Test 100 on Australian soil. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 SBMU and Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation 2.0 Amrit. The SBMU 2.0 and Amrit 2.0 have been designed to realize the aspiration to make all cities garbage-free and water-secure. These flagship missions signify a step forward towards effectively addressing the challenges of rapidly urbanizing India. It will also help in achieving the targets set under the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Launching the initiatives at a function in New Delhi, the Prime Minister said the aim of Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 is to make cities garbage-free, while the second phase of Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation is to make cities water-secure.
2014 में देशवासियों ने भारत को खुले में शौच से मुक्त करने का ODF बनाने का संकल्प लिया था। 10 करोड़ से ज्यादा शौचालयों के निर्माण के साथ देशवासियों ने ये संकल्प पूरा किया। अब स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन 2.0 का लक्ष्य है गार्बेज फ्री शहर, कचरे के ढेर से पूरी तरह मुक्त ऐसा शहर बनाना। अमृत मिशन इसमें देशवासियों की और मदद करने वाला है।
The Prime Minister said cleanliness is not just for a day, fortnight or year. It is a mega campaign for every day and for everyone to take part in it. Mr. Modi said the next phase of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and Amrit is a key step in fulfilling Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's dream of urban ease of living and solve problems of the people. He called upon all the state governments, mayors and local administrations to actively get back to the cleanliness mission. He said the journey of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and Amrit Mission so far makes every Indian proud.
स्वच्छ भारत अभियान और अमृत मिशन की अब तक की यात्रा वाकई हर देशवासी को गर्व से भर देने वाली है। इसमें मिशन भी है, मान भी है मर्यादा भी है, एक देश की महत्वाकांक्षा भी है और मातृभूमि के लिए अप्रतिम प्रेम भी। और हमारे स्वच्छता कर्मी, हमारे सफाई मित्र सच्चे अर्थ में इस अभियान के महानायक हैं।
He said today India is processing about 1 lakh tons of waste every day. In 2014, less than 20% of the waste was being processed, which stands now at 70% of daily waste.
20 से 70 तक पहुंचे हैं, लेकिन अब हमें इसे 100% तक, 100% तक लेकर जाना ही जाना है। और ये काम केवल वेस्ट डिस्पोजल के जरिए नहीं होगा, बल्कि वेस्ट टू वेल्थ क्रिएशन के जरिए होगा। इसके लिए देश ने हर शहर में 100% वेस्ट सेग्रीगेशन के साथ साथ इससे जुड़ी आधुनिक मटेरियल रिकवरी फैसिलिटीज बनाने का लक्ष्य तय किया है। इन आधुनिक फैसिलिटीज में कूड़े कचरे को छांटा जाएगा, रिसाइकिल हो पाने वाली चीजों को प्रोसेस किया जाएगा, अलग किया जाएगा। इसके साथ ही शहरों में बने कूड़े के पहाड़ों को प्रोसेस करके पूरी तरह समाप्त किया जाएगा।
Lauding the services of Safai Karmcharis, the Prime Minister said they are heroes of Swachh Bharat mission. He said the country has watched their contribution in the difficult times of Corona. Talking about fund allocation for urban development, Mr. Modi said only 1.25 lakh crore rupees was allotted 7 years before 2014, while after that, the government has allotted nearly 4 lakh crore rupees for the sector. He stressed the need to ensure 100% urban families receive water connections and sewer line connectivity. He added that once sewage water treatment increases in the country, it will help in keeping rivers cleaner. Highlighting the PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi PM Swanidhi scheme, Mr. Modi said the scheme is benefiting street vendors and urged local bodies to popularize the initiative. He said the street vendors are now doing digital transactions and paying back their loans on time. In a very short time, these vendors have already done over 7 crore digital transactions. Mr. Modi said Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh have provided maximum loans to street vendors and urged all states to extend help to them to empower urban poor. Swachh Bharat and Amrit mission have brought transformative changes in the lives of people in the last 6 to 7 years. These missions have improved the urban landscape by adopting scientific approach and engaging citizens through mass movement. On the occasion, Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat and others were also present.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur reached Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh this morning, where he took part in a program and paid homage to freedom fighter Chandrasekhar Azad by garlanding his statue at Chandrasekhar Azad Park. He led a cleanliness drive there. Mr. Thakur also planted a sapling in the park. Later, the minister participated in a meeting of BJP workers and office bearers at the Circuit House. Mr. Thakur will launch a month-long Clean India program from Prayagraj this afternoon as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This program will continue till the month's end. The aim of the cleanliness drive is to create awareness, mobilize people and ensure their involvement in cleaning waste, mainly single-use plastic waste throughout the country. This program is being organized in 6 lakh villages of 744 districts across the country through the networks of Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan NYKS affiliated youth clubs and National Service Scheme affiliated institutions. After the launch of Clean India Mission, Mr. Thakur will attend Ganga Maha-Aarti at Sangam. India has said China's provocative behavior, the amassing of large number of troops and its unilateral attempts to alter the status quo resulted in serious disturbance of peace and tranquility along the line of actual control LAC in eastern Ladakh. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said this in response to a media query about recent remarks by Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson regarding the border situation. Mr. Bagchi said India rejects such statements which have no basis in facts. He pointed out that China continues to deploy large number of troops and armaments in the border areas. The spokesperson said it was in response to Chinese actions that the Indian armed forces had to make appropriate counter-deployments in these areas to ensure India's security interests are fully protected. He said New Delhi expects that the Chinese side will work towards early resolution of the remaining issues along the LAC in eastern Ladakh while fully abiding by bilateral agreements and protocols.
The gross GST revenue collected in the month of September was 1,17,010 crore rupees, which included CGST component of 20,578 crores, SGST 26,767 crores and IGST component of 60,911 crore rupees. The revenue for September was 23% higher than the GST revenues in the same month last year. During the month, revenue from import of goods was 30% higher and the revenue from domestic transactions including import of services was 20% higher than the revenue from these sources during the same month last year. Our correspondent reports the centre had also released GST compensation of 22,000 crore rupees to states to meet their GST revenue gap. Air Marshal B.R. Krishna today assumed charge of Chief of Integrated Defence Staff to the Chairman of Chiefs of Staff Committee. Commissioned as a fighter pilot in 1983, Air Marshal Krishna has had a distinguished career spanning over 38 years. Qualified flying instructor and experimental test pilot, he has flown a wide variety of fighters, transport aircraft and helicopters in the inventory of Indian Air Force. He has over 5,000 hours of flying experience, including operational, instructional and test flying. He is an alumnus of National Defence Academy, Defence Services Staff College and National Defence College.
More than 89 crore 2 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry said over 64 lakh 40,000 doses were administered yesterday. More than 26,000 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The ministry said the recovery rate is currently at 97.86%. Over 28,000 people recovered in the last 24 hours. The daily positivity rate is at 1.76%, which is less than 3% for the last 32 days. More than 87 crore 25 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been provided to the states and union territories so far. The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry said more than 5 crore unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and UTs to be administered. In Madhya Pradesh, over 6 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19 have been administered to the eligible population so far. Of these, over 4 crore 82 lakh first doses and over 1 crore 50 lakh second doses have been administered in the state. A report.
The number of active cases in the state is 122. State reported 12 new cases, while the death toll remained unchanged at 10,522. Around 60,000 tests are being conducted every day. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan congratulated people of the state and the health workers after figure of second dose of corona vaccine crossed 1 crore 50 lakh. Chief Minister also called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi yesterday. Chief Minister informed that corona infection is under control in the state. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
The government has extended the exemption from custom duty on import of COVID-19 vaccine. The Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs has extended the exemption till the end of this year. In Assam, the World Heritage Site Kaziranga National Park has been reopened for tourists today. Forest Minister Parimal Suklabedya and Agriculture Minister Atul Bora attended the inaugural ceremony at Mihimuk. Park Authority has started Jeep Safari at Kohora and Bagori ranges. Elephant Safari will start at a later stage. Our correspondent reports that Kaziranga is the home of 2,413 rhinos as per the latest census. Apart from the famous one-horned rhino, the park is also known for rich flora and fauna. Meanwhile, another World Heritage Site, Manas National Park, was also reopened today for visitors. The park is located in Lower Assam. Still in Assam, Guwahati police have recovered a huge cache of explosives at Guwahati this morning. Police Commissioner Harmeet Singh said 13 bags of explosive substance have been recovered from a vehicle at Garchuk, Chariali. Mr. Singh said the recovered items consist of 4,660 gelatin sticks and 2,300 detonators.
In the program Spotlight, we are broadcasting a special series, Seva aur Samarpan, 20 Saal Shusashan Ke. Today, the theme is Imagined Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. It showcases dawn of a new era of peace, progress and prosperity in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The special program can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. And on raising the awareness about coronavirus in Corona Jagrukta series from 9:30 p.m, a senior doctor from renowned hospital will be with us to answer the queries of listeners. So keep listening to All India Radio News for the latest developments. You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 and Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation 2.0. The mission to realize the aspiration to make all cities garbage-free and water-secure. Swachh Bharat and Amrut Mission brings transformative changes in the lives of people in the last 6 to 7 years, says Prime Minister. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur launches month-long Clean India program from Prayagraj. India says China's provocative behavior, the amassing of large number of troops and its unilateral attempts to alter the status quo resulted in serious disturbance of peace and tranquility along the LAC in eastern Ladakh. Over 89 crore 2 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate stands at 97.86%. Prime Minister to interact with Gram Panchayats and Pani Samitis on Jal Jeevan Mission tomorrow, to also launch Jal Jeevan Mission app and Rashtriya Jal Jeevan Kosh. GST collection for September crosses 1.17 lakh crore rupees, 23% higher than in the same month last year. In Assam, the World Heritage Site Kaziranga National Park reopens for tourists. And Smriti Mandhana becomes first Indian woman to score a Test 100 on Australian soil. India were 276 for the loss to 5 wickets in the second day of the first Test match in Queensland. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे। उज्जवल भविष्य बनाने की आजादी, रिटायरमेंट के बाद भी नियमित इनकम की आजादी, आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव आओ मनाए हर पल, एनपीएस करे बेहतर आज और पेंशन से सुनिश्चित कर।
1 अक्टूबर को पूरा देश मना रहा है एनपीएस दिवस। अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपनी बैंक शाखा जाएं या pfrda.org.in पर विजिट करें या 1800-110-708 पर कॉल करें।
Welcome back to the Midday News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with Gram Panchayats, Pani Samitis and Village Water and Sanitation Committees on Jal Jeevan Mission tomorrow. The Prime Minister will launch the Jal Jeevan Mission app for improving awareness among stakeholders and for greater transparency and accountability of schemes under the mission. Mr. Modi will also launch Rashtriya Jal Jeevan Kosh, where any individual, institution, corporate or philanthropist, be it in India or abroad, can contribute to help provide tap water connection in every rural household. Nationwide Gram Sabhas on Jal Jeevan Mission will also take place during the day. On the 15th of August 2019, the Prime Minister announced the Jal Jeevan Mission to provide clean tap water to every household. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted President Ramnath Kovind on his birthday today. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said Mr. Kovind is known for his simplicity, high ethics and remarkable vision. The Vice President wished for his good health. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said Mr. Kovind has endeared himself to the entire nation. He said Mr. Kovind's focus on empowering the poor and marginalized sections of society is exemplary. The Prime Minister wished for his long and healthy life.
As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let's listen now to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day. Annie Besant, a great social reformer and one of the most iconic exponents of the Indian freedom movement, was born on the 1st of October 1847 in London. She was involved in the free thought and radical movements led by Charles Bradlaugh, MP.
She advocated ideas which were ahead of the time, such as trade unions, national education, right for women to vote, and birth control. In 1889, Annie Besant joined the Theosophical Society, a religious movement based on Hindu ideas of karma and reincarnation. In 1893, she represented the Theosophical Society at the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago.
Nama Nama Vasanta Devi Jagat Vandite Prajvalite Jnana Jyoti Sakala Janahite.
She came to India in 1893 and fell in love with the land. She was associated with various causes including the emancipation of women, education, and most notably took part in the Indian freedom struggle. Once Mahatma Gandhi said about her that she awakened Indian people from their deep slumber.
Along with Lokmanya Tilak, she co-founded the Home Rule League in 1916, which aimed to campaign for democracy in India and dominion status within the empire.
In June 1917, when she was arrested by the British Empire, it was vehemently opposed by both Congress and the Muslim League. When Besant was freed in September 1917, she was welcomed by the crowds from all over India. Later, she was elected as the first woman president of the Indian National Congress in December 1917.
She established Banaras Hindu University in 1916 with the assistance of Maharaja of Darbhanga Rameshwar Singh, Maharaja of Banaras Prabhu Narayan Singh, Madan Mohan Malviya, and Sundarlal.
In 1898, later, she also helped in establishing the Hyderabad Sindh National Collegiate Board, Mumbai, India in 1922.
Raghupati Venkataratnam Naidu was born on 1st of October 1862 in Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh. As his father, Raghupati Appaya Naidu worked as Subedar in the army. He lived in Chandrapur. This helped him gain knowledge of Hindi, Urdu and Persian languages.
He graduated from Madras Christian College. He continued further education to complete MA and LT from the University of Madras. He founded the Social Purity Association in 1891 to train people as honest citizens.
He worked for the eradication of untouchability and uplift of scheduled castes and founded an orphanage and a hostel for them. He strived for the abolition of the Devadasi system in Andhra and succeeded to a considerable extent. He promoted widow remarriages and encouraged women's education.
He promoted Brahmo Samaj movement in Andhra. All the above social reforms have led to him being described as the second great social reformer of Andhra after Veere Salingam Panthulu. He breathed his last on the 26th of May 1939.
On this day, Hridayanath Kundru was born in the year 1887. He was an Indian freedom fighter and public figure. He was also a seasoned parliamentarian, serving in various legislative bodies at the provincial and central level for nearly 4 decades.
He was a member of the Constituent Assembly of India from 1946 to 1950 that drew up the Constitution of India. He was also keenly interested in the international affairs and co-founded the Indian Council of World Affairs and the Indian School of International Studies. He breathed his last on the 3rd of April, 1978.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar AIR News के संग. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
स्वाधीनता आंदोलन के दौरान भारतीय जनमानस को उत्प्रेरित कर स्वतंत्रता का अलख जगाने और मातृभूमि के प्रति सेवा, समर्पण और त्याग की ज्वाला प्रज्वलित कर देने वाले अमर गीतों पर आधारित विशेष कार्यक्रम आजादी के तराने सुनना न भूलें। FM गोल्ड 100.1 मेगाहर्ट्ज पर प्रत्येक शुक्रवार शाम 4:45 पर परिक्रमा कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत आजादी के तराने सिर्फ आकाशवाणी पर।
In a historic moment in women's cricket, Smriti Mandhana became the first Indian woman to score a Test 100 on the Australian soil. Continuing her masterclass batting streak this morning, she completed her century to shape up India's first innings on the second day of the first pink ball day and night one-off Test match between India and Australia at the Carrera Oval in Queensland, Australia today. She scored 127 runs with 22 fours and a 6. India were 276 for the loss of 5 wickets when the reports last came in. Earlier, the opening day's play was suspended after tea due to rain. In cricket, Chennai Super Kings became the first team in the ongoing IPL to qualify for the playoffs after beating Sunrisers Hyderabad by 6 wickets in Sharjah last night. Put into bat first, Hyderabad posted a score of 134 runs for 7 in the stipulated 20 overs with the help of Riddhiman Saha's 44 of 46 balls. For Chennai, Josh Hazelwood picked 3 while Dwayne Bravo scalped 2 wickets. The Sensex and the Nifty today logged losses of more than 0.5% in afternoon trade amid negative global cues. The BSE Sensex tumbled 464 points or 0.79% to trade at 58,662. The NSE Nifty also declined 130 points or 0.74% to trade at 17,488.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with very light rain or drizzle towards afternoon or evening. The city recorded 27 degrees Celsius as the minimum temperature, while the maximum will be around 35. Mumbai expected to have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain, minimum and maximum temperature hover between 26 and 31 degrees. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature in the city was 27 degrees Celsius, maximum will be around 33. Chennai expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 26 and 34 degrees. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 and Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation 2.0, the mission to realize the aspiration to make all cities garbage-free and water secure. Swachh Bharat and Amrit Mission brings transformative changes in the lives of people in the last 6 to 7 years, says Prime Minister. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur launches month-long Clean India program from Prayagraj. India says China's provocative behavior, amassing of large number of troops and unilateral attempts to alter status quo resulted in serious disturbance of peace and tranquility along LAC in eastern Ladakh. Over 89 crore 2 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far under nationwide vaccination drive, recovery rate at 97.86%. Prime Minister to interact with Gram Panchayats and Pani Samitis on Jal Jeevan Mission tomorrow. to also launch Jal Jeevan Mission app and Rashtriya Jal Jeevan Kosh. And with that, we end the midday news.